So we're going to talk about your budget forms, all right? So you're going to have some personnel that are going to be assigned to your project or your grant, and you're going to list them here. You're going to either list them by their title, or if it's Joe Smith, project director, you can put that there, and then put down how he's paid, semi-monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, and then how many hours he's going to work, his pay rate, and then that would be computed to his annual salary. And then the percentage box you need to be paying attention to, because that's going to be the percentage of the time that he's going to work on the grant or the project. And then that would compute over there as to how much that was. Did I say that right, Charlotte? Okay. All right, then your next page is going to add all the fringe benefits that go along with his salary, and there's that listing there, and it includes all your taxes, your Medicare, and these are the basic formulas for those, but you can get that information from your finance people because they know everything. Then this is what it looks like when you fill that all in. Up at the top it shows the salary and how much, see this guy's on 100%, and then it's got all of his taxes and his other pieces of information that go along with that fringe, and then it computed down there at the bottom. This is just the pay schedule for those projected employees, those are guys that are working on the project, and so you just put down how they get paid. And this is an example of how it looks like when it's all completed.
I will say something on this. Remember, this grant, if awarded, will be effective October of 2023. So that's when the pay schedule should start, and then run through September of 24.
When you say it's beginning of October 3?
Right. Yes, October of 2023 is the beginning of federal fiscal year 24.
Any other questions? Okay, so this is the form that's in your budget forms that talks about your enforcement activity and the hours that, right here he is. I lost him yesterday, so he showed up today.
So this is pretty straightforward, y'all. So in your first column is resources. It's just resource 1, 2, 3, and 4. No names. There's no names. They're all associated. Pay rate. What is their hourly rate? Remember what we said a while ago about that? Just what is their hourly rate? Total hours will be the total hours they're going to work on the project. Total project hours. Okay, so if it's like an HVE grant, it's 420 power, so like 420 hours for the whole time. And then, so how much? So this times this equals that. It's just that easy.
Thank you very much.
How about that? I finally got out of the doghouse with my finance.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the regular operating expenses. So in the next few slides, we're going to see the other budget forms that you're going to be working with when you put together your budget. This particular slide has the regular operating expenses, and this is individual costs less than $1,000. In these costs, you want to include your shipping and handling. If it's something that you're ordering, you want to make sure you have that included. And I want to talk to you about that vehicle maintenance, but I'm very, very, very not well versed. So I'm handing it over to you. Because it says, remember I said $1,000 or less, and then it says $4,000, so I get a little.
And that's why we put that slide up there. Because obviously vehicle maintenance is not a single item, right? So your single item is perhaps an Alka sensor. Now to us in the law enforcement world, that is a piece of equipment, right? But because it costs less than $1,000, it's going to go under regular operating. Vehicle maintenance can be your brakes, tires, fuel, oil changes. So So that's not a single item, so that's why it's listed here at a set price. Don't put vehicle maintenance, $4,000, and then fuel, $4,000. Combine it all, vehicle maintenance, and we'll move on. Makes it easier to manage that.
For
So
vehicle maintenance, do you use FEMA based on the type of car, FEMA payback?
No, just whatever your average cost is for however many hours or mileage you're gonna plan to put on the cars.
So it's like a budget is a projection, so you're going to project that. But in addition, you have to think of everything. So this is a good example of stuff that you may not have thought of as a budget item that you want to think of everything to include.
You said add fuel into vehicle maintenance?
Right.
Okay.
It'd be one line item.
Any other questions on this? Okay, and this is another expense under your budget forms, and this is going to be for travel. This is going to be for the grantee employees, the ones that have been assigned to the project. If they're going on a conference or they're going to training, all of these expenses have to be included under your travel, your mileage, hotel, per diem, etc. Okay, so these are some other budget forms. We don't have examples for them, but these are some other budget forms that you're going to see when you're filling out your budget forms. Equipment purchases, and these are, it's as it says, individual items, $1,000 or more. If you're having a speaker come to one of your events, you're going to put that under contractual services. And then there's per diem and fees, like we talked about a minute ago, but these are for folks that are not involved with the grant. These are non-employees of the grant, right? Okay, and here's the rest of them. Under your budget forms, you have your computer charges, computer equipment, stuff that's reoccurring that you are paying for. Think about those things. Think about your computer equipment. Telecommunications, your cell phones, internet access, motor vehicle purchase, and any office space or rent that you're going to be using that you might have to put on your form for that. So then the last slide here is the cost category summary. So this, as you can see, starts from the very beginning and gives you all of those slides that we were talking about, and it gives you a summary of all of them. So I'm going to try to get through this without her help. But it shows down here where you have matching funds that this is your department that's going to match the funds, correct? And so whatever percentage you put in there, that means that your department intends to match the funds that the government's going to give. So most of the time you put a 0, right?
Yeah, so, yeah, most of the time, most of all of you will put a 0 there. We have had people put 100 there, and then, which basically says your agency's paying for the whole project, which we know if you're here, you're not planning to pay for the project, you want our funds. So just make sure you put a 0 there and then save the page.
Is that match scored on the application?
It is looked at, it's not part of it's not part of the score.
And that was a key thing that Scarlett just said, is that continue to save after you're doing stuff so that you don't lose your info.
Yeah, to save that page, you will have to put a number in that box.
That's all. Anybody have any questions?